Tonight, an activism group called Equal Ground held a news conference on the steps of the Bay County Government Building. The organization teamed up with local leaders ahead of the Bay County legislation delegation meeting to strongly oppose redrawing the state's congressional maps ahead of the next census. As News 13's Grace Velez tells us, redistricting and property taxes were popular topics at tonight's Bay County legislative delegation meeting.
Equal Ground works to build civic engagement in communities, partly by informing citizens of timely, relevant topics and how they coincide with the state's government. On Monday, they partnered with local, like-minded organizations to express a strong opposition against any efforts to redraw congressional districts mid-cycle. Every 10 years, the federal government conducts the U.S. Census to count the number of people living not only in the country, but each state, county, and city. The results are used for many purposes, like the distribution of congressional seats for each state. The last one was in 2020. The next one is scheduled for 2030. But several states, including Florida, are trying to redraw congressional districts now instead of waiting for the next census. The group got the chance to share their concerns for the state of our democracy with Senator Jay Trumbull and Representative Griff Griffiths. Several others reinforced that message. Another sentiment expressed more than once was to hold off on prematurely cutting property taxes.
The Chamber and our membership opposes any proposal to eliminate or phase out local property taxes without a stable replacement funding source. And that really comes down to the things that affects. It would be a huge budget shortfall.
With Representative Griffiths serving on the Select Committee on Property Taxes, Monday night was an opportune moment for constituents to continue having open dialogue on the issue.
The legislators will not clearly address the reasons to oppose these measures, namely how to replace the funding for police, fire, and emergency services, public libraries, local property, stormwater runoff, and road maintenance, and let's not forget mosquito control. That's covered by property taxes. These agencies on whom we depend on local property taxes to operate.
Affordable housing and the overall affordability status of Florida were addressed both by citizens and Senator Trumbull.
Here in Walton, Okaloosa, Washington, Holmes, Jackson, and Calhoun is that there's an affordability issue facing our state.
Trumbull says it's not just a Northwest Florida issue and that it's crucial to look at the long-range financial outlook for the state.
One thing that hasn't been touched on tonight is what the long-range financial outlook looks like in our state over the next 3 years. We're looking at a $6 billion deficit, and that's without doing anything on property taxes.
In Bay County, Grace Velez, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
Property tax and redistricting concerns weren't the only issues raised tonight. Community members and leaders brought several other topics to their legislators, including representatives from municipalities like Lynn Haven and Mexico Beach, who asked for support on future infrastructure improvement projects.